How humiliating. Sign duty, followed by a night shift, just to get the day off on the 25th. Christmas was an interesting time at the Pizzaplex. Fazbear Incorporated loved the holiday and the money it made them. Understandable. All those financial recoveries followed by hard hits, and then slow recoveries again, must have been draining on them. The Fazbear Christmas events, as in multiple events, began with Black Friday, when the various souvenir shops got rare toys from all around the world delivered to it. Such as the Samurai Freddy action figure usually only sold in Fazbear Japan, and the German variant of Fazbear's chocolate that somehow managed to be sweeter than their American counterpart, yet have half the calories. Those were your personal favorite, by the way. After Black Friday, the Christmas decorations were hung up, slowly, until the 10th of December, starting with the atrium, then the lobby, and then going from the east to the west wing of the building. The final change before Christmas itself was a special redesign for all animatronics. Yes, even DJ Music Man. The entire celebration would end on the 5th of January, with an additional event on December 31st and the 1st of January. It was the best of times for Fazbear fans. It was the worst of times for Fazbear employees. Not only did you barely survive Black Friday, a giant woman had picked you up as you tried to stop her from entering the souvenir shop that was already way too full with people, before throwing you into another group of other people behind her. Luckily, someone had helped you get on your feet, so you weren't injured. You were a shift guard. This meant that you had to adjust to both day and night shift. And while your work contract included the rule to never do both shifts at once, if you wanted any kind of substantial overtime in the hopes to force a day off, you'd need to do both more often than not. You worked really hard during these special days to get, on very specific dates, a day off. You worked especially hard, double shifts, to get off days on the 25th, the 31st, and the 1st of January, as well as your birthday. Those were the days where you definitely did not want to work, as they were special to you. Thankfully by now, someone at the company respected that, and already in anticipation when making the yearly schedules, made you have days off during them, but also put a nice double serving of double shifts on top of that. What you didn't know in advance were special jobs, such as the one you are doing today, outside, in the cold. Sign duty. This duty entailed standing outside with a coworker, dressed as Santa elves, pointing a sign advertising that Freddy Claus was in the building. Of course, Freddy Claus was just Glamrock Freddy, dressed in a red cloak. Fake beard hanging from his lower jaw, with a hat. Listening to what children wanted for Christmas. More Santa stuff, really. You felt cold. The costume wasn't warm. It was quite tight for you. But not in a sexy way, more in a the bigger uniform was already taken kind of way. Ironic. As a child, you often heard you'll grow into it. Oh well. The problem was that you were overworked. Too many double shifts in these past couple of days, and you were tired. Your time outside was a nightmare. The tight elf costume wasn't really insulated at all, but you managed to suffer through it. However, even hours after your night shift had started, you still felt like you were freezing, despite the hot building. Maybe you had already gotten sick. Either way, this was going to be a terrible night, surely. Unless you figured out some way to deal with this. You're sitting in the Lost and Found near Rockstar Row, going through the inventory. You aren't going to take anything. Yet. It was company policy that an item that had been here for over a month could be taken, yes, but most of them weren't. And you had set your sights on a portable video game console. You and the day shift leader Brian were practically salivating at the opportunity to be the first to grab it. Just 5 more days. You needed to make sure to get it first. Maybe do a night shift and then a morning shift. A knocking on the security door almost made you drop the box with the console. Sheepishly, you shoved it back on the shelf before rushing to the door. Opening it to be met by Moondrop. The animatronic blinked at you, though there was a good reason. It was Moon. The light above the Lost and Found had given up, and the animatronic stood in a cone of darkness. He stared at you, sheepishly.
Trust me, Miss Nightguard, I am as confused as you are to be here.
He scratched the back of his head. Using your deduction skills, you immediately came to the conclusion that Sun wanted something, and the giving up of the light bulb was merely a coincidence. However, as you opened your mouth, the robot took a surprise step forward, almost going into the light which would have turned him back into Sun.
Miss Guard, I can't help but notice that your body temperature is quite low.
It's really not that bad, you joked. Moon's head tilted to the side.
I am not programmed for magical diagnoses. However, you have been inside the building for a while, haven't you? You should be toasty.
You sighed. Whatever. Any idea what Sun wanted from me? Moon shook his head.
Well, obviously it isn't nap time. That's my thing.
Of course. His programming told him to initialize nap time. That and animatronic capturing were his only purposes now. But thanks to your diligent work as a night guard, that had already been done. So even if the scheduled blackouts were to happen now, he had nothing to do. The machine suddenly snickered like a mischievous child. What? You barked, not really intending to sound aggressive.
I have made a choice, Miss Nightguard.
Proudly slapped his chest. You're a machine. You don't have free will. You work according to your programming. You didn't really make a choice here. What did you do? You really only said that to get rid of him, but he retaliated by saying,
Oh, you mean like waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning to then work between 7 to 10 hours doing the same task every day until your organs start failing you and you're tired. You eat, you drink, you sleep, and your body punishes you for breaking your own habits.
His head turned upside down as he spoke.
Sounds to me like you're a machine too, but with less control over your own insides. Not to mention I am programmed to actually like my routines. Humans more often than not need medication to simply tolerate their continued existence. And I'm certain you're one of them.
You blinked, completely taken aback. Did you just get roasted by a machine? That was uncalled for. Why are you so mean to me?
Why are you giving me attitude? I'm trying to be nice. You aren't normally like this, Miss Nightguard.
That was true. Normally you were kind-er. Though considering the mistreatment the machines received through other means by employees and dismissive, rowdy children, kind-er meant a lot to the robots, and they easily picked up on any changes in moods. So even if you tried to hide how sick you felt, there was no way hiding it from him and the others. come to think of it. The others probably noticed it too. And considering how it was so easy to convince them to get into their green rooms today, the Glamrocks definitely noticed. Damn sentient AIs. You sighed. Whatever.
Look, Miss Nightguard, we started on the wrong foot here. You may have understood me wrong. Could you turn off my not safe for work filter for a moment? That would make it easier to explain it.
Groaning, you accept it, pulling out your security tablet and turning the filter off, requiring 3 separate safety warnings.
I see. Commands received. I apologize for sounding mean, but you look like absolute shit.
Your lips twitched up into a smile. You had a thing for cute things, cursing. That's why you had so many Adult Swim DVDs at home.
Tell me, my dear Night Guard, when was the last time you had a break?
I don't want to tell you. You guys always overreact when you encounter a diligent worker. Almost offended, the robot took an exaggerated step back.
My word, Miss Nightguard! If my filter wasn't off, I may have felt insulted. I don't overreact. When I encounter an overly zealous worker, I appreciate them. They keep the place running. No. I am built to care about this. It's your health. Your body is weak, even if your will is strong. I admire that.
You scoffed. Then just let me work. Quickly like a snake, he reached his hand into the lost and found, turning off the lights, before Sun could take over his arm. Hey, you complained. Moon's red eyes approached you. In the darkness, you could almost not see him. His hands taking hold of your shoulders.
Miss Nightguard, you haven't slept, haven't you? I suggest a nap time, which you probably didn't have in decades.
You could feel his fingers dig into you after he said nap time. Were all the machines so assertive without their filters on? You wondered if any of the male guards ever turned off Roxy's filters. Oh God. Exhaling, you realized the need to fight him was not there. You really were tired. Okay. You win. I give up. If you calm down, I promise I take a nap. He blinked.
An employee listening to me? I like that change. Should have more often. What other things would you be willing to do if I suggested them?
I am not going to destroy all light bulbs in the daycare just so you can be active during the day. He blinked.
How did you?
You asked that one already. Couple of days ago, in fact. If Moon could pout, he would. His fingers impatiently tapping on your shoulders.
Well?
He let go of you and took a dramatic step back. How do you even want me to take a nap?
As if you don't know Brian's hiding spots. Wait, you don't know Brian's hiding spots?
The look that you had given him was answer enough. Guard leader Brian, the guy in charge of writing up the schedules, was a dick when it came to his job, taking it way too serious. But he himself, well, he was pretty chill. Moon almost smugly walked past you, pulling at the locker next to the computer desk, revealing a little crawl space behind it, with a rolled-up camping mattress.
What the hell?
You shouted.
Brian has set up hiding spots in every office and the lost and found, so he can sleep on the job. Anyone else who knows about the spots can freely use them. That's why he hides them. Most guards believe there's only really 1 or 2 spots. Now it's everywhere. But I thought all guards were aware of at least one.
Well, I wasn't. Shrugging, the animatronic pulled it out. It was relatively wide, as he spread it out on the ground. Enough to fit 2 people on it, in fact. Though, knowing Brian, there was a reason why 2 people fit on it. Ugh, you shivered. The thing even had 2 pillows that were wrapped in plastic bags to keep them from getting dirty. As you lied down, your butt could still feel the hard ground beneath, but it was definitely more acceptable and comfortable than just lying flat on the concrete. Though without the blanket, you still felt a little exposed. The mattress faintly smelled like plastic, so it was probably on the newer side. And the pillow you were using smelled like Brian's limegrass shampoo. According to the man himself, limegrass was the only smell strong enough to hide the smell of weed around him. But it wasn't as gross as you first thought, though. Moon lied down next to you in a pose you'd consider a little sassy. One arm under his head, he observed you closely. It was a little uncomfortable having someone observe you like this. Do you want anything else? You really saw no need for him to stay here.
I want you to sleep. My internal clock is set to 2 hours from now. This way you still have enough time to finish all your work.
His reassurance made you smile. Well, thanks. You folded your hands above your stomach, closing your eyes. But after a while...
You're still not sleeping?
I'm trying. It's just, you're here and I never did this before. The robot suddenly placed a hand on yours, his thumb rubbing over your skin.
Would you like me to assist? There are 60 massage programs I have access to since you disabled my adult filter.
Wait, what? He began to list them. And the further he went down the list, the more strange the massages became, until... Wait! You interrupted him, your brows furrowed.
What?
That candle massage, that's a kinky sex thing!
What?
You sat up, a little too fast, the vertigo making you a little dizzy. Meanwhile, Moon looked at you terrified.
What do you mean it's a kinky thing? Oh, F, am I a weird sex robot?
So that's why there were so many warnings about turning off the filters. Though hearing him say that, it made you grin. Never mind, forget what I said. I was, joking around.
Are you making fun of me?
No, just, how about you give me one of your, deep massages?
Oh, of course. Turn around, Miss Nightguard, so I can do my job properly.
You shuffled around, exposing your back to him. And, just as expected, from a lewd little robot, he gently wrapped his arms around you, his mechanical fingers undoing the buttons of your uniform. A lavender scent emanating from him, though that feature you knew he already had. The robot, even though he didn't understand it, was now seductively taking off your clothes. He removed your shirt, unhooked your bra, neatly folding them beside the mattress. He ordered you to lie down, which you did. You gasped, feeling his cool hands rub squeeze and tug at your supple flesh. It felt incredibly hot and lewd. His touches, they're far more demanding and firm than any of your previous boyfriends ever tried. You gasped.
Oh, that must have been a terrible muscle strain, Miss Nightguard.
You didn't know what was making you blush more. The fact that he was touching all your erogenous zones with mechanical precision, or the fact that he was unaware as to how much like a woman he was making you feel. Finally, he reached for your belt.
Tell me, Mooney.
You groaned.
Explain to me what you're doing next. It's called a deep massage for a reason, Miss Nightguard. I have to go as far inside there as I possibly can. Don't worry, I'm programmed to avoid any discomfort or injury you may experience during this.
Oh, sounds lovely. I feel like after this, I'll sleep like a baby.
Thank you to the people who are supporting me on Ko-fi. You guys are keeping me alive.
Special thanks to AJ Anime Girl 85 and Hopeful for being my first channel members. Thank you for being darlings.